Здравствуйте, and welcome to the mountains of eastern Kyrgyzstan. In today's video, we're going to start at Jetioz, a really unique little mountain village with some really epic rocks, and then we're gonna head to Karakol to check out Dungan Muslim culture and what life is like here in eastern Kyrgyzstan. Let's do it. So Kyrgyzstan is something like 85% mountainous. The entire country is landlocked with Kazakhstan to the north and China to the east, so that's kind of where we are. And this region is so varied. It's the diversity of the climates, the microclimates that they have here, and kind of the different plants and other things that are provided by the mountains. It's really incredible. So here you actually have red rocks, very similar to what you would find maybe in like Arizona. And this scene reminds me a lot of what you see in kind of like the western part of the United States. You've got very rural families living here with people raising sheep and especially horses. These are horse people. And then over here, there's these huge epic mountain passes. This rock is what they're calling the Heartbreak Rock, as I guess it does look kind of like a broken heart, in alpine forest. But just maybe a few hours driving this way, you're gonna hit the desert and you're gonna hit the Isyk Lake, which is this big, the eye of Kyrgyzstan, this big lake that really comes out of nowhere in the middle of a rocky desert. It's incredible. So we've just made it into the small town of Jetioz. So this is life in rural Kyrgyzstan. You have the one store. They've got a bunch of alcohol in there, some bread, and some small things that you can buy. They got one cafe here, but because it's Ramadan, it's closed. And then here you have the town. These houses are built in the kind of dacha style, so these country Russian style houses. The top typically are built with wood, and then sometimes they have like a factory. This may be a school back here, and they always have one mosque because this region is Muslim. Being here during Ramadan means pretty much everything is closed during the day. So cafes and other things, people aren't out. You're typically supposed to pray during Ramadan the entire day, and people keep to it. These are really hard-working people, and so they focus a lot on their work and on their prayers, and it's a totally different kind of lifestyle. So here we are at the panorama of the village. You can see it's just maybe 50 houses. They've got a school, epic mountains, they got a mosque, one guest house, and this beautiful valley that they live in. The majority of the people here are either farmers or sheep herders. So you can find a lot of people probably from the village with their animals. Wow. I don't think I've ever been in a place where you have red rocks that you typically find in the American Southwest with alpine snow-covered mountains. This is filmed in late April, so apparently the snow never melts here. The altitude's too high. They get just epic views all over this country, and this is why you have to come to Kyrgyzstan if you have the chance. And since Kyrgyzstan is a horse culture, they're people who were very similar to the Mongolians, and they lived in these large khanates throughout history, nomadically. There's wild horses everywhere here in Kyrgyzstan. Typically these are owned by somebody, but here's even a mare, a young horse, but they let their horses pretty much free to walk around and do horse things. I mean, look at this. You have to think that the Kyrgyz, the original Turks, they rode their horses from this region all the way to the Anatolian Peninsula in Turkey, conquering everything in their wake. It's incredible. So now we're back on the mean streets of Karakol. This is the fourth largest city of Kyrgyzstan, and it's the biggest city in the east. The city itself is a weird mixture of kind of like post-Soviet buildings, Russian imperial dachas, and mountains. But you get this kind of like really Kyrgyz vibe because most people here speak Kyrgyz as their first language and Russian as their utilitarian second language. Here you can see a lot of the houses here, this old Russian style, as I just alluded to. And we're gonna take you here to the Trinity Cathedral, the old Russian church in the center of Karakol. This country, Kyrgyzstan, but Karakol also has this big Russian vibe. The Kokand Khanate, which was this kind of like loose federation of Central Asian states, occupied this land for quite a long time. But this part became Russified as it joined the Russian imperial sphere. So as we go into this area, you'll notice this is a really old school type of cathedral with the wood, with the typical Orthodox style that you find all over Russia. The time that it spent in the Russian Empire and there in the subsequent years in the Soviet Union means that Kyrgyzstan is still occupied by lots of Russian people. So you can find lots of Russian cemeteries, Russian churches, Russian food, still being a pretty normal thing here. And you have these beautiful old Russian architectural gems like this. One thing I love about these Orthodox Russian style churches is that they always have these gold domed kind of onion roofs. But the best part of it is, over here, we've got one. I can touch it. There it is.
So now on to the most interesting part of the story. In the city center of Karakol is an old Dungan mosque. Dungan, also known as Hui Chinese, are ethnic Chinese Muslims that used to live in Gansu and Shanxi province in western China until the Dungan Revolt of 1864 against the Qing dynasty. The revolt led to nearly 20 million perishing due to forced migration and war. The Hui walked west until they found refuge in the Kokand Khanate, living amongst the nomadic Muslim Turkic people of Central Asia. While being Muslim like the Turks, they brought a different vibe with them as they immigrated to this region, including uniquely Chinese dishes, architecture, and language. In today's Kyrgyzstan, there are nearly 75,000 descendants of these original migrants, and another 75,000 currently residing in Kazakhstan near the Chinese border. This temple was finished in 1910, and its unique style has been an integral part of Karakol ever since. The roof is the centerpiece with dragon motifs and colors representing different Dungan cultural concepts. Red, meaning protection from evil spirits, yellow, wealth and prosperity, and the green symbolizes happiness. No trip to Karakol would be complete without understanding a little bit about the Dungan, their culture, and how it shaped Karakol, and basically this part of Kyrgyzstan today. The most unique part about it for me is that it left a big effect on the cuisine, and also many people in the region still speak a type of older Chinese that is very similar to today's Mandarin. It's just not what you would typically expect on a trip to this part of the world. Even though we're on the border of China, it feels a world apart, but that the people are here and that they're not the ethnic Turks, the ethnic Mongols, or the ethnic Kyrgyz. It's just incredibly interesting and unique.
So we're at the final destination for this vlog. We are at Karakol Central Market. We're gonna try some Dungan food and show you the amazing, diverse ethnic food that they have here in Eastern Kyrgyzstan, but that's gonna be in the next video, so stay tuned for that for sure. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in part 2.